Have you ever driven across the American Midwest and seen towns so silent? It felt like civilization had packed up and left. Empty parking lots, shuttered diners, hotels with lights off, once busy tourist hubs, now look like set pieces from an abandoned movie set. This isn't some post-apocalyptic film. This is real America in 2025. And the truth is, this isn't just about people moving away. It's about the world quietly turning its back on the United States. A nation that once attracted millions each year is now being avoided. And it's not by accident, it's by design. Between 2019 and 2024, the number of international tourists entering the U.S. dropped dramatically, not just by a few percentage points, but by more than 30%. And the fallout is everywhere. Times Square, once overflowing with global tourists snapping selfies, feels eerily quiet. Las Vegas casinos are reporting the lowest foreign footfall in over a decade. Even the Statue of Liberty, the global symbol of welcome, is now more visited by locals than outsiders. It's a decline that no one wants to admit, but the data is undeniable. America's tourism industry is crumbling, and it's not because the world suddenly lost interest in the Grand Canyon. At the heart of this collapse is something far more subtle: the slow, deliberate tightening of the gates. Over the past 5 years, U.S. airports have become less like points of entry and more like fortified checkpoints. Travelers from abroad face hours-long interrogations, invasive questioning, and, increasingly, outright rejection. What used to be a dream trip now feels like a risk. In 2023 alone, visa rejections for travelers from Africa, the Middle East, and South Asia hit historic highs. Families with valid documentation were sent back. Students with scholarships were denied. Business professionals missed critical meetings. The reasons, often vague, sometimes non-existent. But the message was clear: you're not welcome. This isn't just about airport bureaucracy. It's about rhetoric, policy, and perception. The return of Trump to the presidency in 2024 accelerated a culture that had been brewing for years. America First was no longer just a slogan. It became an instruction manual. Anti-immigrant language was broadcast from podiums, and words like invasion and illegals became regular talking points on mainstream news. DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion programs were slashed from universities, government agencies, and corporations. What had once been a national push toward openness and representation was gutted almost overnight. For international visitors, especially those from non-Western countries, America no longer felt like a beacon of opportunity. It felt hostile. And then there's the violence. Mass shootings, which once shocked the world, are now a weekly headline. In countries like the UK, Canada, and Japan, news of another school shooting in America doesn't just spark sympathy, it sparks fear. Parents don't want to send their kids to U.S. universities anymore. Tourists choose safer countries. Travel advisories are issued not for war zones, but for American cities. The nation that once symbolized freedom now feels unpredictable, even dangerous. Combine that with the rise of climate-related disasters, wildfires in California, hurricanes pummeling the South, water shortages, deadly heat waves, and the image gets worse. While other nations pivoted toward sustainability and resilience, the U.S. went in reverse. Environmental protections were rolled back, climate agreements were abandoned. International visitors began to wonder, if America can't take care of its own air and water, what kind of future is it offering anyone? Then there's the soft power vacuum. America once exported culture, education, and influence through global exchange programs, conferences, and student visas. These weren't just about economics. They were about identity, about projecting America as a melting pot, a place where anyone could belong. But when those programs were slashed, when Fulbright scholarships disappeared and embassy outreach shut down, America didn't just lose visitors. It lost global goodwill. What's the cost of all this? Economically, it's devastating. The tourism industry alone brought in over $2 trillion a year before 2020. Now, cities and states that relied on global traffic are drying up. Orlando, Miami, New York, San Francisco, they're all feeling the hit. Thousands of small businesses have closed. Entire districts are ghost towns. But this isn't just an economic collapse. It's a cultural one. America is losing the one thing that made it truly powerful: its ability to inspire and connect with the rest of the world. And as America turns inward, the world isn't waiting. Countries like Canada, the UAE, Japan, and France are stepping up, offering friendlier immigration policies, more stable environments, and a genuine welcome to global visitors and talent. Dubai is becoming the new destination for digital nomads. Canada is leading in international education. Japan's tourism numbers just hit a record high. While America puts up walls, others are building bridges. So what does this mean for the future? Half of America is empty, not because people vanished overnight, but because the country stopped inviting them in. It built walls, burned bridges, and replaced opportunity with suspicion. This isn't just a political failure. It's a branding crisis on a global scale, because once the world sees you as unwelcoming, it's not easy to repair that image. The lights don't turn back on with a policy change. Trust takes years to rebuild, and right now, trust is in short supply. Will tourists ever return? Will students choose America again? Will the world look at the US and feel admiration instead of anxiety? That depends on what happens next. But one thing's for sure, when you shut the door on the world learns to stop knocking.